Hi, I'm going to demonstrate my backup method. I have subscribed for a long time to the 3-2-1 method, 3 copies of everything on 2 different types of backup media. At least one is stored away from where you spend most of your time. So I'm going to show you today exactly how I do it. I have an image on my camera that I just took with the lens cover shut. So it's just strictly for demonstration. I'm going to turn on my camera. It's going to open the EOS utility, and I just use this because it's simple. I'm going to download the images to my computer. There's only one image on it, so it shouldn't take long. And there it is. And of course, it's going to open the program there, which is a nice black image. I'm sure I can use that for something later on, but for now it's just a nice black image. And I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera because I don't need the EOS utility anymore. And so that's fine. We're okay with it. Okay, so you can see that it lives in my pictures directory. Right there, 2024-07-29. So I'm going to close this because I never use this anyway. And I'm going to open up my File Explorer. And I have a couple of other folders there in pictures that I haven't transferred yet that I was using for other purposes. This is some that I was doing for promoting my photography and one that I was doing for promoting my book. Ask me about it if you're interested. And this was done for my blog. I was showing how aperture affects exposure. And this is my picture that I took today. So all that's well and good. What I usually do first is I move it to my pictures folders. And of course, it's going to pretend like it doesn't know what I want it to do. I go up to the folder name. I'm going to move this out of the way. And I just drag this over to pictures. I have this map. This is a Synology network attached storage device. And it is connected wirelessly to my network. I also have, it also has an Ethernet port that I could connect to. I connect to it wirelessly. It connects via Ethernet to my gateway so that it can provide the network, wireless network services. You wouldn't think it would take that long, but it does. And so it's transferred, and I can go over here to my pictures, and I can take my date modified, and you can see that this is it right here. So that's the one that I transferred today. Now, I have that device backing up to a location off-site in Seattle, Washington. Before the Seattle, Washington location came online, it was trying to back up to Frankfurt, Germany, which just never happened. It's just too far away, and my network connection was too slow, my internet connection. So it just never, I never was able to use it. I was just glad to have them sitting there at on a NAS off of my computer. But now that I have it available, I back it up, and I'll show you my backup process. This, I pay extra for the on-site backup. It's less than $100 a year. And I have a huge amount. Now my NAS is 4 terabytes, which is still a lot. But the online is even more. And I use the hyper backup. And I have this I have my NAS is broken down to documents, music, photos, and videos. I have each one backing up on a separate day, and it only backs up the changes, so it doesn't have to back up the whole thing every time. It just backs up the changes. So this one was changed this morning at 7:45 was when it ran, and it'll back up again on the 5th of August. So those go all offsite. Now the problem with doing it this way is that if something happens to my NAS and some of the files get corrupted, that corruption replicates as well. So this is good as far as it goes, but the problem is, then what? What happens to those files? Well, they're just corrupted. So I have a third method that I use. It's kind of old school, but it works. And that is I use an external hard drive. Because this is not connected to my NAS, this is going to be a separate copy. So if my NAS gets corrupted, it gets corrupted by getting hit by lightning sometimes. And it doesn't blow the whole thing up, but there may be one little section of it that gets corrupted. Well, when the last time it happened, I didn't have a copy of those images backed up. They weren't really important. I had plenty of other ones around it that told the rest of the story, so I was okay with it. But now I back up everything twice. I back it up to my NAS, which backs it up to the cloud, and I also back it up to my external hard drive. It's not quick and painless. It's painless, but it doesn't take much time. Depending on how many files you're trying to do at any one time, it can take half an hour. I've never had it take longer than a half an hour. And I take the external hard drive with me when I travel so that I can back up my travel photos so that they don't have to all be sitting only on my computer hard drive. So I never have just one copy of any of my photos. And I can access this group of files away from home. I have an address that will allow me to get into this from the back door, so it can back up to here, and then it will synchronize to my NAS at home. If this hasn't been clear, let me know. I didn't do any rehearsal on this. I just kind of did this on the fly, and I had told Craig that I would get it done, and I was afraid I was going to run out of my time before I got it done. Let me know in the comments if you have any questions on this, and I'll be glad to answer them.